Let's take a look at my first Pokemon show to see if I made or lost money as a small vendor. I watched countless vending POVs on YouTube for the past year and I've always wanted to be on the other side of the camera. I decided to pull the trigger when I moved here to Washington State. I was a bit nervous going into it since it was my first one, but I did my research and I knew what I was doing. I came in at 9 a.m. with my vendor friend Silver Class TCG, took him out, and took 30 minutes to set up my table. On screen you can see the finished product. I brought one glass case, 2 binders, and some sealed product I had laying around. One binder I filled with cards less than $10, one had cards above 10, and my more lucrative cards and slabs were in the case. I wanted to bring another case, but I actually knew I was going to this show the week of it because I was on the wait list. I literally bought everything that same week. Now getting into the show, doors opened at 10 a.m. and people started to flood in. Other vendors said the show was slow, but I thought it was pretty packed. To be fair, I had no past experience to base it off of. Now getting into the deals, cards started to fly out and I was managing sometimes 3 people at once. It started with some small sales and trades, but then this one guy came along. Let's call him Steve. Steve was trying to master set Prismatic Evolutions, you know, the one with the infamous Umbreon. Steve came up and said some vendor told him I had the Umbreon. It's crazy because I didn't tell anyone I had this. I guess word spreads around in the venue. My sticker was at 1500, he wanted it for 14, so then I countered with 1450. Steve left and I was not expecting him to come back. Until he did and we closed the deal for 1450. I literally bought this card 2 days ago for 1300, so the sale already covered my table and then some. I was ecstatic because I knew the rest of the show would just be pure profit. The day went on and I kept on selling, nothing huge, but then I also picked up a bunch of smaller cards because my binders started getting empty. The show ended at 5 p.m, I packed my things and headed home. Follow along for part 2 where I break down the costs and sales to see my net profit of the entire show.